So we should be live now on everything, and I should be able to bring up this, minus this, and we should be. But I will double check real quick. Yep, we are live. Let me make sure YouTube's live. Please be live. Yep, we're live. Okay, we're live cross board. You guys see the title on everything. We're gonna be talking about SmackDown. Guys, I've been super fucking busy, so you guys got to bear with me. Like, no content's not been the same. I know it's Christmas time, and we got families, we got lives, and I had to go get a checkup by the doctor because I've been so sick. And then, we got the new phone, we got new everything. It's been a minute, and I'm launching a new podcast with this gentleman here. Everything is just like happening all in like 360. It's like that no scope 360. So I thought we'd give you guys a little bit of a taste of what we're working on, what we're doing, what things are going to be expected. I'm going to tell you guys, it's going to be done here on this channel for a while. The podcast is going to be until we build up an audience, and then we'll move everybody over slowly to that new channel once we get there. Not going to make you guys any guarantees. Brady and I, we've done it before 7 years ago, 8 years ago. We did a show. We got very popular really quick. We kind of didn't really have a direction on the last show when we did it. And hence a lot of trolls. So this time around, we learned from that. And this time we're going to have a format. We're going to have things. You guys are going to see the things. We're going to crank it up. Sometimes me and Brady may argue. You may see me and Brady argue, but at the end of the day, we both said going into this, we're gonna love each other, hate each other, choke each other out. It's gonna be an interesting type show when we do go live for the first time. We're shooting for Tuesday. That's the goal. I told you guys on my last show that we were planning on a show. That I was working on a podcast, and here it is. And you're gonna get a taste for Brady. Brady's a little cutthroat and dry sometimes, so he's just as blunt as I am. So we pretty much we keep it raw and uncut and unbiased on here. Like if we feel something about something, we're gonna tell you as it is, and no fucks given. So when you come to this show, just expect no fucks given. Like we're gonna try to keep it civil when it comes to opinions and things like that. But I just want you guys to know when me and Brady are on one, we're on one. That's just a fact. Just sit, get your favorite beverage, get what the fuck you need, and enjoy the show. We curse like sailors. We talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna keep it to gaming, tech, sports. We're gonna keep religion and politics out of it. That's for the birds. That's where we're leaving it. We're gonna keep it towards the popular shit. Now we may go into that gray area of that stuff, especially with TikTok and things like that. But we're gonna save it for those kind of those shows and things like that. So we're gonna keep certain topics. We're not gonna go hardcore in the paint like you think. But when we are on one, like if Brady wants to talk about something, we're gonna talk about it. But within reasons in those things. Like for instance, I didn't know rock music was dying. So there's that. I didn't know that until this week. Rock music is completely dying, and rap music is taking over, and not the rap music, not the rap music we come to love. Not that
No,
one.
man,
The
not this
mumble
new rap
garbage.
music.
The
No,
mumble.
not this mumble garbage.
The mumbo garbage. But anyway, let's get into talking about SmackDown tonight. SmackDown. Let's just keep it a buck. SmackDown tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give it here, and I'm gonna tell you guys like it is. The show sucked. Like I'm just gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
They're shorthanded. You could tell. And for them to say they're gonna go 3 hours, WWE, we need to have a chat. WWE 3 hours. Let's just keep it. Let's keep it there. Why 3 hours? I don't get it. Hell no. Not my purse. Not my shit. But Brady, what did you think about the show tonight? What did you feel?
I think it was pretty good. The cameras are not showing on the screen,
Yeah, I'm
but
moving screens. That's why. Got it.
you know,
Gotcha.
it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really good. You know what I'm saying? I
The
watched that Kevin Owens vignette that they put out, and my God, this whole thing that they have with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes is just going to turn out to be a waste of time for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
you ain't
getting
wrong.
tired of them wasting people's time. I'm getting tired of them putting up storylines that go absolutely nowhere. They need, if they really want to make Kevin Owens a big shot, they need to have him go to Raw, face Gunther. Him facing Cody Rhodes, that is not going to work. Okay? because he's not going to beat Cody Rhodes. He's not going to beat the man clean. We all know
No.
that. Cody Rhodes is going to hold that title till at least Mania and drop it to somebody else because you know what? Like Cody Rhodes is that big name. He's the big name. He's not a big name, folks. I'm sorry, he's not. Cody Rhodes to me is a mid card jobber who got lucky and he's coasting off his father's name. I'm sorry. That's what I think about Cody Rhodes.
Damn,
But
he's going right for the jugular. Don't let those Cody Rhodes fans don't come at my show. Go
well,
after
I'm
Mile
sorry.
High. Go after Mile High. Don't
Go
come
after me,
after
man.
me.
On Twitter. Listen, man,
But
on
you know
Twitter.
what?
I'm on Twitter. You
I will
come after
stand
me.
by this. Cody Rhodes, and I've said this. I'm not going to say his dad part, but I'm going to say like he has not been good. Ever since I would say the first 3 months of him having that title was great, and then after that it's been trash. It's been like let's get the hook. It's like when a hockey player, it's like when a goalie gets scored on 6-0 and you're like it happens every night the same way. It's time for the coach. It's time for Triple H to pull the trigger and bring somebody else in. It's starting to show. Cody Rhodes is becoming it's becoming that way.
Yes,
And
but worse. But worse.
and get this,
Much
they
worse.
took him off of TV because they don't want him to have the booze. You don't want to happen what happened with AEW where he was getting booed all the time towards the end of him being in AEW. Come on, WWE. That's a little shitty to me. You know,
It's
turn
really
him heel. Turn him heel. If you're going to go, if crowd's going to turn on him, turn him heel. Like, that's what I would do. I would turn him heel. I would love Cody to be heel right now. Like, but him face right now is just fucking trash. It's the worst thing I've seen. It's like the moments he starts talking on television, I'm fucking over it. So tonight, I was grateful not to see his ass on anything remotely. I'm okay with that.
thing. Absolutely.
It's the
But you
same.
know,
It's hold on. It's the same way. It's the same way as I feel on AEW television. If we're gonna keep it a buck, it's the same way I feel about Max Caster. Max Caster needs to come off my television real quickly. The acclaimed Matt Caster needs to come off my television. His raps are garbage, and it's the same thing I feel about Cody Rhodes. Get that man off my
I,
television.
I, no, listen, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I disagree on that. I like Max Caster. I like the acclaim. I just wish that
Okay.
they would use them a little bit better. I mean, he is kind of getting lame, but Max Caster and the acclaim, in my opinion, are probably one of the best tag teams they have, if not in professional wrestling. I like them. I've always
Damn,
liked them.
you're going that
Now,
far. Wow.
now listen. Now, having Daddy Ass, Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn sitting there with him, no, man, that's not good. They need to turn them heel. But this is about SmackDown. What they need to do on SmackDown, if they're going to do 3 hours, they got to make sure that they have great promos at the beginning, middle, and end. Because these matches that they show on TV, we all know TV matches ain't going to be great, but they're not going to be bad. They need to make sure that they hook you in. And for 3 hours, they couldn't do that on Raw. Why are they going to do it on SmackDown? It's not possible.
Well,
It's not possible
okay,
because
so I've said this to you before. Triple H, here's the problem. Triple H has gotten comfortable. That's the problem here. And I'm already concerned. I'm already throwing up red flags that Triple H is going to have a match at Mania. You know, how hokey pokey is it? And I'm already predicting that it's not going to be him. It's going to be a wrestler of his choice, which doesn't make it any better. And here's another thing too. If we're gonna give aid, and I say this all the time in all my video reviews, you guys know this about me. If we're gonna hold AEW to a high standard of being better, we got to do the same for WWE. Triple H's booking has not been consistent, and on SmackDown tonight, I am not feeling Solo Sikoa either. I am not feeling the Umafeli. I don't care. They're making it to be they're overselling Raw to me. I get Raw. You want to have all this for Netflix, but you're overselling it. And it's
yeah,
already
they
to
really
me
are.
like they're gonna overcommit to this like they did NXT when they were hitting the CW, and it's gonna just turn into what are you gonna do next week? Because you got to top every week at that point. If you're gonna go all out on one, you got to top everything. We've been saying this for a minute. Me and Brady have been saying that, or Mile High and myself have been saying this for years. This is what happened with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon would give you one great show and then never was consistent after that. It just fall off a truck. And I feel the
That's
same
true.
about Triple H.
That's true.
And it's becoming that way. Like LA Knight. Did you not notice LA Knight? Did you not understand LA Knight is becoming a jobber by the minute? I watched that and I went, that's just garbage. Well, what are we doing? Why? Shinsuke Nakamura looks stupid. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Shinsuke looks very stupid.
How do you not agree with that? But
You like
but
Shinsuke?
but
Okay,
but
all right. I got to hear this one.
but but here's the thing about Shinsuke. I've always been a big Shinsuke fan. Ever since he came into the E, I was a Shinsuke fan. Even back in NXT,
I
I
feel
love
that.
Shinsuke Nakamura. I think he was a very underused wrestler for many years. I think he got robbed at Mania. I think he got robbed at Mania. He should have been a world champion
I agree with that.
in the E.
I
And you
agree
know
Vince
what?
McMahon stifled him on that one.
Yes, yes, he did because they had an international superstar there that they could have used to wedge themselves into the Japanese market a lot better than what they did now. Now they can still do it. I mean, granted, yes, they can still get that done, but they got to make Shinsuke Nakamura friggin'
Phenomenal.
exactly, very believable as a heel and as a face.
Well, they need
And
to start. They need to
Vince can
start
do
doing
that.
that. With they need to bring back. You know who they need to bring back, right? If you're going that far, they got to bring back Asuka at this point.
Asuka, yeah,
They gotta bring her. Well, if you're talking Japanese talent, then they need to bring Asuka back. They need to start featuring a lot more when it comes to Japan. Like for instance, we got AJ Styles, and this is sad to me. AJ Styles is legitimately talking about retiring, and to me, I feel this last half with him. If this is going to be a career, I feel like this honestly has been garbage. I feel sorry for him. He should be treated better for everything he's given WWE. An ankle injury, devastating, and then not really doing anything except one match a year is not good for me. That's not AJ Styles that I remember.
no, you're right about that. AJ Styles deserves a lot better than what he's getting. Myself, AJ Styles, I've always liked it. He went back in TNA. He was really good. I went back and I watched a lot of his matches back in TNA. He was always a fantastic in-ring performer. Um, but the thing about him in WWE is that he was always very inconsistent. I think, he was always a very inconsistent character. He had, oh God, his two little friends. I don't know about.
Luke
Thank you.
Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Yes, exactly. Those guys did not help him, in my opinion. They
Well, they
were
were
always
trying.
brought in and they were always trying to push these guys, and they're great wrestlers, but the character just never worked for them. And when they put them with AJ, to me, that hurt AJ Styles a lot. That's just
What Triple H was trying to do with that was he was trying to recandlelight the Bullet Club. We all like the Bullet Club because it was NWO 2.0 basically. And Triple H was trying to capitalize off that. I mean, look at the time frame when they brought AJ Styles in and the being the elite and the Bullet Club stuff. He was trying to capitalize on something that it wasn't WWE. It goes like this: the hardcore fans, when you try to do something the hardcore fans want, you know what I mean, or you do something the hardcore fans like, and you don't do it to the right accord, right? You're gonna get shit on. You know what I mean? That's just how this is gonna go. You're just gonna get shit on for it. That's just the fact. And Triple H has done that. Triple H has been doing that for a minute, to be honest.
yeah. Oh my God, this thing fucking on me.
It is all good, brother. Hold on. I can't. I just. Let's
Oh
get
my
this
God.
over here.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay,
I
cool. I'm back. I'm
got
back.
my
All
notes.
right.
Let's see here. So the Bloodline segment, I'm just gonna go right. We're gonna go right in. We kind of been out of order. The Bloodline segment. I'm gonna be honest with you. Drew McIntyre should not even be part of this segment at all. In my opinion, Drew McIntyre needs to be going up the card, not being part of this Bloodline segment. I don't. Drew McIntyre is better than the Bloodline. I think he's been, and I'm going to say this. I think Drew McIntyre. I think we can all say this. Drew McIntyre has been the MVP this year alone. just what the work he's putting into WWE. I've been enjoying every second of it. Him and Punk really work together very well. I don't feel that same way about Rollins. And I will tell you, Rollins, I just can't stand. Get him off my television. Faster the
Really?
better. Rollins at oh shit. I'm done with it, dude. To have him come back as the architect. Like the guy that swung the belt, authority heel. The authority one. Bring him back. I was cool with that guy. Not this guy that looks like Jared Leto.
Man,
Yeah.
his costumes are a little obnoxious. I will say that. But the character overall, I like him as a character. The costumes, I do not like. I'm getting real sick and tired of him coming out, looking like, uh, you know, looking like he walked out of a, oh goodness,
Jared
fashion
Leto.
show.
Jared
Yeah,
Leto.
yeah, no, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
looking
Jared
like
Leto,
Joker
yeah,
all of a sudden. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is, it makes him very unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not gonna take a guy seriously who wears a boa, who walks around in tight pants. I don't take that seriously. I mean, come on, man. I mean, listen, man. I'm be honest with you. I would slap the shit out of Seth Rollins. I will do that right now because he looks like I can do it. He's not believable. He's
I
not
would like
believable.
him.
Okay.
Okay, so here's to make Seth Rollins look better. If I got to give advice to Triple H, have him come out. If you're gonna have him talk shit and do all the shit, have him come out and look like Conor McGregor with suits and make him look apart and actually tell and turn around to CM Punk and go, hey, look, this is how we dress in the WWE. And then what I would do is have Seth Rollins bring up the past. See, you can get away with that at the other company, but you don't get away with it in my company. You know what I mean? They need to do better with that. Seth Rollins
Yeah.
could be doing, they're playing off of Seth Rollins was fucked over, then treat it that way. But don't make him look stupid. You're making him look like a jackass in a way with a leather coat, with fur, and I know people are gonna tell me, that's cinema, guys. That's great shit.
That's not
No.
cinema. It's not cinema. That's
That is
obnoxious.
that's
That's
obnoxious.
obnoxious. Do you want cinema? Listen, as you said, suit, tie, come out looking professional. And if you want to wear a pink suit jacket, okay, fine, I guess. But come out and look like you know something. Not look like, as you said, Jared Leto on steroids. This guy just doesn't look believable.
No.
As far as the character goes, I like the character of Seth Rollins. The way he dresses and comes out to the ring, it's getting old, especially when he goes out there and he tries to mock people. It's like, it doesn't work. I mean, like, you can't mock somebody by dressing like an idiot. You
That
can't.
is true.
I'm sorry. I'm like, you look like an idiot,
Well, have him
and
come
I
out
can't
if you're
take you
gonna
serious.
do that. Have him come out, and this is just me being honest. Have him come out with a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah,
Have him come
cigar.
out with a
Yeah,
cigar
yeah.
and then and then have him turn around to Punk and go, "Hey, light my cigar for me." And then he goes, "Why?" Because I've made more money than you over a lifetime span. You've had 2 failed UFC fights. You know, something for Rollins to go. You go, wow, damn, he's going there. You know, this is
So
the
why
thing
don't
that.
they?
Go ahead.
So why don't they just be like, oh yeah, we own the UFC. Why don't we get into a UFC style fight? Do that. Like, you have the UFC. It's right there. Just be like, okay, like, you were in the UFC, you were a failed fighter there. I can expose you in the
Well they do. It's
octagon. You
called
know what I mean?
they do. It's called the underground match.
No, that's lame. Lame. Lame.
They do that. Yeah, they don't bring an octagon in.
No.
They've discussed possibly at their super shows doing an octagon. I highly doubt Dana White would go for that. Dana White, you got to remember Dana White's an ego. You got to remember that too. Like he's a big
Yeah.
ego. He'll never do that, but he will never give WWE a bone. He's always said it. WWE's always second tier to him. He's always said that. He's never been a big fan of fake fighting. He's always stated that.
Well, so why did he go ahead and merge with them if he wasn't a fan of it?
He wasn't the
Like,
owner. He's not the owner. He's just the president. He takes orders from Emmanuel, Artie
oh, I didn't
Emmanuel.
know that.
Yeah, he
I did not know
TKO.
that.
Yeah, Endeavor. Yeah, the Endeavor guy, Artie Emmanuel. He takes orders from him. They sold to him back in 2012. Yeah,
I didn't know
2012.
that.
Yeah, they were the first to fall.
I did not know that. Okay. Well,
And
I did not know that at
I
all.
would not be surprised, and this is just me saying this out loud, and I know people are going to boo and hiss me. I wouldn't be surprised if AEW in my lifetime, and I know Tony Khan's got the capital to do so, and he can get some backers to do it, and I know Tony Khan's a narcissist, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went out and bought PFL.
TFL, the,
PFL,
the Pro Football
Prize
League.
Fighting League. Prize Fighting
Oh, it's
League that
funny.
owns
Okay.
Bellator and everything now. Or they merged. I wouldn't be surprised if he went out of his way to buy that. And then I wouldn't. And I'm going to say this nicely. This is where you bring in Shane McMahon. You give Shane McMahon his dream. Shane McMahon's dream was always to own a UFC type of promotion. And you bring Shane
Really?
McMahon in as your commissioner.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Shane McMahon was going to
Um,
go after UFC before back in '97, and his dad turned him down flat out. They got in a. His dad said UFC was never going to be profitable.
yeah.
And boy, his dad looks stupid,
Shows what Vince knows. That
right? Well, so we go from there. We have the, and here's the thing: give me Charlotte Flair, please. I beg of you, WWE, please, please give me Charlotte Flair
no.
back, because Bianca ain't doing it. God, Naomi ain't fucking pleasing me, period, at all. It's terrible. And for shit's sakes, SmackDown needs a big star right now because it shows. Their women's, they didn't even bring out Chelsea Green. That's your new champion, your U.S. champion. You're not even bringing her out to a celebration. Shows me how much value you have for that title and her. Have her come out and like have a celebration as Chelsea Green. It's Matt Cardona's wife, for shit's sakes. Always ready. You gotta do something. She is the queen bee. Always, come on. You don't bring her out to celebrate. You have a fucking Nia Jax. I love Nia Jax. Don't get me wrong. I've said I haven't in the past. I haven't liked Nia Jax my whole. But Nia Jax is starting to look bad, and it's not her fault. It is WWE's booking's fault. They've made her title run now look stupid, and I feel sorry for her because she's a good heel though. I will give Nia Jax that. She's good, but what's tearing her apart is Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton is the one in this relationship that's looking really stupid with that title, with that briefcase. For that, all it's holy, they should just abolish Money in the Bank at this point. It's becoming sadder every year. It's not mattering. What is she going to do? Cash in and be like Baron Corbin? And by the way, Baron Corbin's going to AEW, by the way.
is he really?
Yep, he's going to be at World's End as MJF's Lynchman.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
He's going to be under the Max. The rumor has it he's going to be under the Maxwell Jacob Freeman Vortex. MJF.
God.
So get ready to boo and hiss when it happens, when he does the dynamite ring to Adam Cole and helps MJF win. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say this, and I know Brady, I call him Brady because I've known him as Brady for so long. Mile High. He's going to probably tell me, I've been saying this for years. I've been a big fan of Baron Corbin. I just felt that he wasn't utilized properly in WWE at all. I don't feel his character really. I feel like he hasn't shown his real character. I think he was told what to do, and I think he needs to prove himself. I don't think he's much of a jobber as everybody thinks he is. I think he can be badass as a biker gimmick.
I wouldn't say biker gimmick. I mean, look, Baron Corbin, he has a lot of talent in him. I think that Baron Corbin was misused in WWE. I think that the guy is a future world champion in some promotion. I think that. What I don't like is that they bring these guys in. It's just the AEW. They bring in the scraps from WWE. Tony Khan plays with them for like 2 months, like they're an action figure. And then Tony Khan's like, oh, I want that one, Daddy. I want that one, Daddy. Okay, no problem.
Let me go to the
no
toy
problem,
box.
son.
Let me
Here
play.
you go.
I've heard
And
this
then-
not just
and
from
then-
one person. I've heard this from
And
several.
then, oh no, I don't want to play with you anymore. But you know the meme. Come on,
Yes.
you've seen that meme.
I've
You know
seen
what?
the meme.
That's
Yeah, and I've
exactly
seen a
what it
lot
is.
of YouTubers talk about this, and I've said it
Mhm.
before.
Yeah,
I said this
and
about
it's sad.
well, it's okay. So the way I put it towards, it's kind of like the Dodgers, right? Think about it in this way. I go to baseball. I might go to baseball. Look at the Dodgers. I can have Otani. I can have this guy. Win champion. That's that mentality. That's that NFL. That's that. And I've said this about Tony Khan. Tony Khan's more of an NFL GM than an actual wrestling guy. Let's just be real with that one. He looks more at the stats of what he can get out of somebody for the short term, not the long term. And that's just to me the way I'm looking at it now. He's more of an NFL mind than he is looking at it as a wrestling mind. He's taking everything that's happening in the NFL and he's using it. It's just to me. This is where Tony Khan needs to hire some people. He won't because the whole Tony Storm thing has been botched. Tony Storm doesn't even remember what kind of wrestler she is. And I went, oh my God, we're doing this. Are we doing R-Truth in AEW? Are we doing an R-Truth? And I don't like when they do this with R-Truth, but they're doing it now. So, personal opinion. I said in the title, AEW, we're going to talk some AEW stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff here, but SmackDown tonight, I'm going to be honest with you. I will say it's a B- show. Or no, I won't go that far. I'll say it's C. Like a high C. I say the highlights would be the best way to watch it because if you watched it live, it was a DVR I skip around.
Exactly. I mean, the sad thing is that Raw was the same way this week. I watched Raw,
Yeah.
and I watched Raw on Tuesday, the day after, because I
Right.
always do that. And it's like, so I skip around through all these, like, all these ridiculous get nowhere matches, and it's like Raw's over, and I already watched who won the tag team title, so I was like, I don't even watch this match. I just turned it off. That's sad. The War Raiders are a great tag team, and
Yep.
they deserve some respect. But
Yep.
the thing is, though, is I watched that clip on YouTube. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch Raw because, I mean, the War Raiders won. That's great. That's wonderful. And watch that shit. And then I get to the very end. And I was like, I've only been watching this for 45 minutes.
It's
Realizing
predictable.
I've been
It's
skipping over
predictable.
matches
That's why. It's predictable.
because, like, these matches are horrible. Like, I'm not
It's
going to watch,
predictable.
like the women's matches. You know why? Because they're fucking terrible. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm saying, oh, women's match, skip. And you know what? I'm sorry. You can call me what you want, sexist, whatever. It's terrible. That product has been terrible for fucking years, and I will not watch a women's match on WWE or AEW for that matter because they're not entertaining. I can remember one women's match that I actually was hyped to watch, and that was fucking the Raquel. Who's that? Who's
Go ahead.
the Raquel? It was Raquel Rodriguez. I cannot say her
Raquel
name.
Rodriguez. I got
Thank
you.
you. In that Japanese chick during one of their pay-per-views in
Was it
NXT,
Kyrie
and
Sane
that
or
was
was it Io Sky?
I think it was Io Scott, and it
Okay.
was a pay-per-view match. I think it was before WrestleMania. It
Thanks,
was
Bossman, for
it was
stopping
that
by.
yeah, and that was a great match. I was actually hyped for that match. Like that was a fantastic women's match. But
Right.
they present the women's product in the main roster as just I don't
Oh.
even know. I don't even know. Like they don't want to get hurt, and I understand that. But you're doing a fake wrestling product, and you're scared to throw a fake punch. Like what the fuck is
Well,
this? Like
I'll take the Stevie Richards approach with this one. Okay. If you watch the Stevie Richards show, anybody here, WSI, shout out to them. I'm a big fan of Stevie Richards and Maven. I'm a big fan. Both of those channels, man, you get an insight. And it's kind of like Seth Rollins. Like, it just feels like they're putting no effort into their product. Like, when you see Seth Rollins doing the egg beaters, right? It doesn't look believable. You want it to
oh
look
yeah, those
believable.
little
Yeah, right, right.
yeah.
The women's matches, they're doing that. And it's like Naomi, you got to see that at War Games, for example. She went over with the chair, right? And she walked tippity top and just tapped at her. And then she was flopping. You know what I mean? Those are the things I'm talking about when it comes to WWE. Like, I watch the show to watch the show. If you're throwing chair shots and it's not looking believable, I'm tuning off. I'm going, I already know where this is going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah, no,
exactly
there's
where
no
this is
point.
going. That's what's going
And
on
there's no
with
point.
Raw.
Yeah,
Raw
yeah.
is predictable because literally it should be the New Day, and it will be the New Day. The New Day are going to go over because they are the top heels at the moment on the wrestling product.
Well, the thing is, they're waiting for Netflix to do
Yeah,
anything big,
yeah.
which I get. Well, you don't want to go ahead and show everything you got on network television, dying network television, mind you. So I mean, you have Netflix right there. So why show a good product on USA when you can wait for that big reveal, that big moment, and have your first streaming episode be a blowout? Which I mean, hopefully it is. It's just like there's no point in watching the USA Raws right now because they're just not good. They're not booked right,
Okay,
and they're
before
not going to be
Brady,
booked right.
before I get some shit on the views again. Okay, so what he said, the reason why cable television is dying because what you just saw. I know what Brady's alluding to. Warner Brothers Discovery just did the same thing. They are separating their streaming apps from their cable. They're separating it, kind of how DirecTV was separated from AT&T. So when you guys talk about these views, you got to remember cable television is dying. That sector of the world is dying. They're going to streaming. Everybody's investing into streaming. Warner Brothers Discovery is killing off. They're taking the CNN. Is it? I think it was CNN and a whole bunch of them. They're going to spin it off as their own company. And USA and a whole bunch of them, Comcast is separating it because cable television ain't viable anymore. That's a fact. And then they could sell it for the first bidder later down the road, like AT&T did with DirecTV. And now you see what happened with Dish Network. Dish Network and DirecTV are merging. Now Dish Network's in limbo because they can't find a deal. So cable television is dying. However you want to say it, the views are not there. That's why the NBA is partnering up with streaming. That's why you're seeing every single place in the world is going to sports streaming. The reason why, because sports is making the money right now. Ads can be put on things. I wouldn't be surprised if Kick, Twitch, or one of them start advertising sports stuff more often, have a sports channel. They already do. I think Steak or one of them has the UFC streaming on Kick now because there's so much they could do with that with ads and people watching. So streaming is going to be the place. Traditional cable is dying. I've told you this. I think by the next 5 years, it's going to be about subscription buys more than fucking viewers.
Exactly.
And
Like,
I think, go ahead.
like you have all these big networks sort of spinning off already. Like you have NBC have Peacock, right?
Yeah.
You have you have CBS as Paramount. You have ABC as Disney Plus and Hulu. Those are going to be the new big media giants right there.
Yep.
When you look at ABC, when you look at NBC, when you look at USA, when you look at all these networks that were huge back in the 90s and early 2000s, and even somewhat in the 2010s, you're looking at this now in terms of I can watch whatever I want to watch at any time I want to watch it. So if I wanted to watch Raw right now, I can turn Raw on right now. That's great, right? Perfect. Back in the day, if you missed Raw, you better hope they do a rerun or your DVR was
Or
broke.
DRV, yeah, or watching it on demand
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. But now it's like I don't need to worry about missing Raw because I can just watch Raw the next day,
And
and that's what makes it
here's
more
another thing that
convenient.
people get pissed off with me about. Me and Brady, I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if I get flack for this. A lot of people get pissed off with me because I've made video view. I've talked about views here on this channel, saying how they don't matter, and I'm gonna tell you why they don't matter. Because the nation ratings, Nick Khan was paying for that to flood WWE views and make AEW views lower. He's admitted to this. He did. He paid. So again, when we talk about views, it doesn't matter. And another thing I'm going to tell you, most people, and Brady can attest to this, and everybody can attest to this, and I can attest to this, we're selling the 7Cs to find things at times because sometimes we don't pay. Like, I'll be honest with you, DirecTV is expensive. DirecTV stream. So sometimes, we turn it off for the month to save some money. So what do you got to go do? You
Mhm.
got to tune. You got to tune to the sell the 7Cs or the free shit. The IPTV streaming stuff. You know what I mean? And guess what? We don't count. Let me tell you guys that we don't count. Your view is not counting when you go do that. So that's a reality for you guys out there. Like, I'm really getting tired of everybody holding these companies to these views because views are dying. However you want to slice and dice it. It's like physical media, right? And I know people are going to argue with me with this one, but here's a stat for you. Everybody discontinued their Blu-ray players last week. Sony, a whole bunch of them. They're all going digital.
Really?
Yep. The only one that's making it right now is LG, and LG's even talking about they're the last survivor of physical media. And Best Buy and a whole bunch of them are not going to be selling physical media going forward. So, welcome to the world of digital. You don't own your media. So, like I
No,
told
you
you,
don't.
streaming
No,
is becoming a thing and media, but we went this way. We as a society went that way
it's
because we got to be in
convenience
the fast lane.
over ownership. It's convenience over ownership. Which
Yes.
I mean, which is sad because I'm a huge physical media guy. I always have been. You know me. I love my physical media. I
I've
go
tuned
back
back
and
into
I'll get
wanting to own an
physical
iPod,
media.
man. I've tuned back into
Mhm.
wanting to buy an iPod or a Zune just to have my choice and rip music in. You know how fun it is to rip kids. There was a thing called ripping music, and we loved every second of it because you owned your music, and we had mini disc players. And let me tell you, that's how we did our music, and it's
The
coming back.
sad thing is, because I had movies I want to put on my iPhone on my computer.
Yeah,
Fucking how?
you got to
How?
go
There's
buy.
no way.
You got to go
Like you
buy an
can't do it.
external. Yes, you can. You got to go buy an external Blu-ray drive for your PC, and then you put it in there and you rip it.
Well, it's the whole files, like moving files from my PC over to here. Like it's not easy. It's ridiculously
No, no.
bullshit. You know
That's
what
an
I mean?
iPhone. That okay, so I get what you mean now. That's an iPhone thing. See, because on my Android I could just take it, put it in my PC with fast ass storage, and then convert and move it over, and I can get it right on my phone in my files.
I had
Not
to
trying to make the I'm
upload.
not and but by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I am not making what's better for situation. It's not Android versus Apple here. I'm just talking about my phone, what I could do with my phone and with an iPhone, I had those problems. Trying to take video, like let's say I'm recording a review and I have my phone down on a tripod and I'm trying to put it. And most people don't know this. Apple does a special type of file format. I don't know if you guys knew this. And then when you try to put it in video players, it doesn't work.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, they do. Yeah,
the HD,
it's so
HCV,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. And then you're sitting there because the file is so huge because you recorded a 10-minute video reviewing something, or you want to put something up for TikTok and you can't even upload it. Now, again, I'm not saying apples are Androids and apples. That's, each to their own. But that was the problem I had with my iPhone a lot. And I had to use Mega Drive or Mega Upload or Mega NZ all the time to upload my video up to it and then bring it down. And it was ridiculous because that's a
I had
convenience.
to I had to upload the movies to OneDrive, link my OneDrive to VLC or VCR or whatever the fuck, and I had to download it to my phone from VLC just to make so I can watch the movie on my phone, or at least listen to the audio while I was
Well,
working.
if you're
And
ripping your movies and things like that, or you're doing whatever, I would suggest use a Plex server. Start.
I do have Plex server. I
Okay,
love it. It's
that's
just
what
had
I
to
would
get
start doing.
the whole premium package to get the streaming
Yeah,
over wireless networks. You know what I'm saying? Over my cell phone network and shit.
yeah,
That sucks.
yeah.
But I mean, it does work out great in home. I mean, Plex server. I love Plex.
By the way,
Love it.
welcome to what we're going to be doing with our new show. It's going to be the Rev and Mile High show, and expect things like this because we're going to talk about things like, for instance, Brady likes Apple a lot, or sorry, Mile High likes. I got to get used to saying that more often. I'll have to
You can call me
practice.
Brady. It's fine. Listen, man, you're
Um,
fine. Call me Brady. It's fine.
when we do these shows, you're going to hear things like this, and we're going to go back and forth about just common things like frustrations that we have in the world, simple things. Like, for instance, I'll give you one. Do you know how annoying it is when you buy a new trash can? Okay. My metal trash can, my plastic thing, I've had it for a year, is already broke. The plastic thing you lift the trash can thing, it already broke. It snapped. When you pull the thing out of the trash to go dump, it broke, and I'm so upset because we spent so much money on that little trash can. Little things in this house, I tell you. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm becoming my mother or my dad, but little things like that just piss me off, literally.
You know, the sad thing is, so you get older, and you realize that life is just bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't understand why things are bullshit when you're younger. Because you're like, oh, that seems so simple, right? When you're young, you're like, oh, why are you so mad about X? And then X happens to you at 30.
Well, I'll
And
tell
you're
you
like,
what.
that's
I'll
why.
tell you about
That's
X.
why you were mad. Yeah.
Good night, boss man. So I tell you, I'll tell you this. Like, so here's the. It's McDonald's, right? People don't realize. Young generation, take notes. You're gonna find out in your 30s how you feel like I am. Go to McDonald's and spend for 2 people, and then half of your meal's cold. And then when you go home and you eat it, you just regret your life. You're better off going to the grocery store and making better decisions.
Pretty much. I mean, look, man, going out to McDonald's is like a luxury item now. It's
Yes.
sad. McDonald's is now a luxury item. Okay.
Yes, it
In
is.
this back in the day, you could go to McDonald's and you could spend $5 and you can get 3 hamburgers, a drink, and a medium fry. You'd be fine for the night. $5 won't get you shit now.
Oh,
Won't get you damn
so
thing.
get this. You remember Top Dollar, right? We'll talk about this real quick, and this spins off into the next topic here. Top Dollar got shit on for basically for TNA because they're selling out now and everything's happening great for them because of their WWE partnership. Top Dollar got shit on for saying that TNA's got to make their money when front row seats are $700 a piece. And
Listen, man.
fans were saying, oh, well, and then he even threw stats at this person. He said, go to a WWE event, you're spending $2,000. $700 is, he said, basically is a lot cheaper. We try to keep our seats as cheap, but we have to go with the vendors to have to say. It's not
Okay.
an art. Yeah.
I went to a house show about 2 years ago.
Right.
We got tickets for like $200 for not nosebleeds, but for kind of the inner bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm pretty sure that going to a live televised show is fantastic. I'm pretty sure it would be. But house shows are
Well,
garbage.
it was a pay-per-view. That's what it was. It was a pay-per-view for Slammiversary, that big the Detroit one that they filled up all the way up to the wall and back.
The $700 for what seats? Like roadside or ringside
Front
or what was
row.
it?
Front row.
$700 for
Yeah.
front row seats? That is good. What are you talking about, man? You go to front, so you go to front row for anything else? AEW, you got a front row for WWE. You're spending, you know, at least $1,500 to $2,000. Seven
You
hundred
go
bucks
get
is a
this
godsend.
to go to WrestleMania this year. To go to WrestleMania this year, you're spending 20 grand to sit in the front.
Is that for to sit in front? But I bet your nosebleeds
That's for
are about
two.
1,000. I bet your
That
nosebleeds are about 1,000.
the middle section was 10,000
Yeah,
or
see
more.
right there. That's see right there. And it's sad because only the rich can do it. And I'm not saying if you're rich, you're bad. I'm just saying it's not obtainable for the average everyday person.
Well, you got to
And
understand. People got to understand demand. Like I'm going to tell you guys, you get it when it pre-sells. Get tickets when it pre-sells, and when it. This is what people don't understand. What fans don't get sometimes when it comes to wrestling. You want to be the first in line because that's where you get the cheap deals. Then after that, you're going to pay a shit ton of money because they have a limited amount of seats, and when it comes to the end, you are going to pay a shit ton of money. For instance, like for like what me and Brady were talking about this earlier about our off air, we were talking about retro games. When they only have a certain amount of copies left, you are going to pay a shit ton of money. That's
oh
just the
yes, you
fact.
will. Oh yes, you will. I can show you my eBay account. You'll see that real quick. I mean, look, man. I mean, look. When it comes to anything nowadays,
You
things
got
are
to be
so
first.
expensive. It could be
You got to
anything.
be first in
You gotta be
line.
first. You gotta be first in line, and you gotta be the first one in line to buy anything. If you're
Yep.
not, guess what? You're paying the premium. You're gonna pay the premium because you weren't there. Freaking supply is freaking lowering, so they can jack that price up, and they can justify that. They can
Yep.
justify, and it's true. So why even bother if you're not first? Don't even bother doing it.
Well, first of all, that person that was writing is complete. That was because it was a news story I saw on Sportskeeda or one of them. And my whole thing was with that was that wrestling fan should be ashamed of himself. Honestly, tickets are going to be expensive no matter what event you go to, NBA, WWE, NXT, whatever. It's going to be expensive. To go sit down, I remember to go sit down at an Angel game, right? My shitty Angels, right? Which I'm becoming a Dodger fan this year because I made a promise to you guys in my stream. Because they won the World Series, and I told you if they won the World Series, I would wear Dodger blue. I was, yep. I'm turning into a Dodgers. But I wear a Shohei Ohtani shirt for you guys. But sitting now, when I was a kid, it was like $100. Now to sit at that Angel game, you're paying $250 or more. So things have gone up. The inflation, everything has gone up. But that's the times. And TNA is popular now. Again, TNA is selling out. They're going to be at a big LA sports arena. I never thought in my lifetime I would see them there. I mean, come on. I mean, they're working with one of the biggest companies in the world, WWE, of course. They're getting all that, and they're doing the right things. Outside of hiring Tessa Blanchard, that's a racist, they're doing everything else. They're doing the right things, and they're making sure everything's the right. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on the whole AJ Francis. And AJ Francis is doing the best work he's ever done. I will be honest with you. WWE pretty much left this man dead to rights. And Top Dollar is doing good things. And I don't care whoever tells me different. I like Top Dollar. As a heel now in TNA, I didn't like him on WWE with Hit Row. So that was just me. I thought Swerve was the show for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brady. You have anything to add to
No,
the topic?
no, man.
All
No,
right,
I'm good.
so we're gonna move on rapid fire because it's getting a little late. Sorry that I streamed a little late on this show. Like we said, I'll go into it. We had DIY and the Motor Machine Guns. Again, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the same thing Brady and I have been talking about, Mile High and I, where if you don't show who the fuck these new people are and what they're about, we know who the Motor City Machine Guns are because we're fans, hardcore fans. But the casual fan's not going to know that. They're not going to know their TNA royalty. They're not going to know they're on New Japan. We talked about this when it came to Okada and Penta, right? Like, you got to start showing your stars off. This is the problem AEW has. WWE's now starting to do it, where you just hand championship belts to new people that come in and you don't even build them. You give them 2 matches and you're like, oh, hey, the crowd will get it. And they don't. That's why I'm happy to see DIY being heels and doing heel things. Ciampa deserves it, and Johnny Gargano kind of deserves it at this point. And they're doing really good stuff. So, Machine Guns are going to be probably going back to the bottom of the barrel as far as I'm concerned about wrestling because they weren't booked properly. They weren't shown properly.
So,
That's a Triple
so,
H fault.
so what you're telling me is they bring in these guys who are well known, well known. I mean, I know them. I don't even watch the other shows. I knew of these guys. I knew that they were a big deal. They would bring them in here. We're going to give them a championship the first night. First night, you give them a
Second match out.
championship. Okay, fine. Second match out, whatever. And they lose to DIY. I mean, look, man, no offense to Johnny Organo or his little friend. Um, but come on, man,
Tommaso
really?
Ciampa, oh come on, come on,
No,
come
no, no,
on.
no. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Listen, man, Tommaso Ciampa, I like him. I just forgot the man's name. I apologize. Okay, I just forgot the man's name. I
No,
like
no, no. I'm
Tommaso
not making fun of
Ciampa.
you for that. Put some
You
respect
know,
on his name, though. Like it's like me making fun of Shinsuke over here.
listen. Okay. I wasn't trying to be me. Listen. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to Tommaso Ciampa. I'm
I
just
feel bad
saying.
now for making fun of Shinsuke over here. Okay.
No, you're fine, man. You can make fun of Shinsuke all you want. I mean, look,
I don't want him spitting some black mist in my face.
you see, man, that would be an honor. Like, do it to me. I'll take it happily. I have no problem. I'll just wash it off my face later. I'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, man, guess what happened to
You'll
me?
take some
Or
Nia
guess what
Jax
happened
too
to
while you're
me?
there. You'll take some Nia Jax while you're there too, and a slice of humble
Mm-hmm.
pie.
I
Okay.
can't say much, but this is what you're gonna get.
This guy going probably to an event He'd be like, Nia Jax, I'm fading. Hold on.
No, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
I have to.
The Bronco Buster would be applied to me, and
You
I would
know
be
what?
more than happy to
I know I'm
take
going to sound terrible, but if I ever saw Rhea Ripley, I'd just tell her to put me in a chokehold. Just for the hell of it. You know what? I'd actually do the same thing over on the AEW side. I would literally tell Marina Shirakawa, I would tell her, like, you know what, just put me in a chokehold for a second. And take a picture of that, brother. I'd be cool with that.
it.
Same with Thunder. Okay, so shout out to Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is a friend of mine on X. I do talk with her often. Not often as much as I want to be. But when I see something, I DM her. I'll tell her, like, hey, I like you to be more, and she thumbs me up. She'll thumb me up. I like Thunder Rosa. She's one with the people. And stuff like that. So getting back to what you were saying about DIY.
But DIY, no offense to them, I didn't like them as a face. As a heel, I kind of like it. Um,
Okay.
it's just that man, Johnny Gargano, man, as a face, in my opinion, is
It's
just a
terrible.
horrible. He's terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
He's fucking lame.
His wife is
All
too,
right,
though.
who's his wife?
Candice LeRae. She's also
Really?
terrible as a face. Yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
She's
I,
local.
I didn't know
She's
that.
in she's a Orange County girl. She's local. She went to fun fact, Candice LeRae was born and raised in Anaheim. Same state same city and everything. She went to the high school. She went to my rival high school.
Oh
Fun
wow,
fact. Yeah.
that's
So
crazy.
she's
Crazy.
very young, and she came up on the Orange County scene. Fun fact.
Yeah,
But you know
nice.
at WWE, why do you call her Riverside? What the hell? She's from Riverside, California. What the fuck? Do you know Riverside, California is cow turd land? Come on
Oh
now.
man, you just sound like you're hating at this point.
Yeah, I anything that's not okay.
You
If you're
sound like
Orange
you're hating
County,
at
if
this
you're you got to be Orange County or die. All right. Wait, if you're living in California, I don't like the fact that it's Riverside. That's like saying you're from San Bernardino County.
point. Yeah,
I
that's
agree
my own
with you.
place, man.
I agree with you with DIY though. DIY, they're better as heels just as much as the New Day. I actually really like what the New Day's doing. I was actually
I'm
cheering.
I'm very curious to see what they're going to be like as heels.
I literally got up and
Very
cheered
curious.
when they said Biggie, and I love what Xavier Woods. Do you know what? Austin competed with a broken freaking neck. Guess who else did? Kurt Angle did. You don't. You sit and eat bonbons. And I went, oh
But you
shit.
sit behind a desk. You sit behind a desk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you sit behind a desk.
I love how his wife got all Big E's wife got all insulted on X about it. How dare you say this? How dare you say that? I'm like, I know you're playing a character, honey, but my God, you're living it. That's cool. So yeah, again, Motor Machine Guns, we know who they are. Okay, we know the aura of them, but the casual fan does not. Unfortunately, the casual WWE fan doesn't. You know, the casual fan that says everything is cinema, and I don't understand what that even fucking means.
So what that means, and this is what I think it means. Like they're going back to the days when they would watch, probably in like late '90s, early 2000s, back when Austin was going off, and how they created that whole storyline.
Well, we're
And
talking Brady. We're not talking people like you and I. We're talking 20-year-olds.
uh,
What makes WWE so? I don't get it
those
when.
people,
Yeah, I
uh,
don't get it. Like I don't understand what makes this segment cinema. To me, when
well,
I think of cinema, I'm thinking of a movie scene. I'm thinking like Robert Downey Jr. levels or, Harrison Ford levels of cinema. Like when you say that, you got to that tells me that scene is 10 out of 10. Like what was 10 out of 10 was when Cody and Roman when they did that's cinema. When they do the not wrestling stuff and they do the kayfabe stuff like out in the stadium, that's cinema. But to call him match cinema, nah, we don't go that far. That's dementia Meltzer levels of bad. I'm
Dementia.
sorry, Dave Meltzer, you are dementia prone, bro. You sit and you will call every single AEW match 5 stars, and I don't know what the fuck you are watching or seeing. Because every other AEW match, let me be honest with you, let me be real with you, outside of a few Daniel Bryan matches this year and some Will Ospreay stuff, you are fucking stupid. And yes, and Dave Meltzer, I will call you fucking stupid. Yes, you are a legend, and I get it, but you are so bad. You are just as bad as Vince Russo. And yes, and don't get me started with Eric Bischoff, Mr. that says, I don't understand what AEW, bro, you've been too much in the can of wrestling, bro. You need to retire. Stay away from wrestling. These old fuckers all stay out of wrestling. You do not know what you're talking about. Yes, yes. And people can, that's a hot take. And I've been saying that for months. 4 months. And Bischoff, I welcome you. I welcome you to refute me on that one. Mr. that lives in the WCW era says WCW was everything. If WCW was so great, why did it fail? Oh, and by the way, don't give me the whole thing about TNA 2009 was great through 2012. My dude. My dude, Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, do your vitamins. You know who saved your ass? Was Sting. Sting saved your ass when he turned into Joker Sting. He made your product. Sorry to tell you that. And Kurt Angle. Booker T did not want to be in TNA. He was there to collect a check. Let's just keep it a buck with that one. A lot of those people, the best ever that TNA will get in promos, and nobody's ever topped it, is that Steiner math.
Steiner math. I've never seen Steiner math.
Oh, dude, when you see Steiner math, where he turns around and he starts talking shit about Samoa Joe and saying, my 2.5% scent is 2.5 fat Samoa Joe, blah, blah, blah. Most legendary promo I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, I make in on Brady's new to what I do when it comes to reviews lately, but I shit on Bischoff. I shit on every single one of those people because they still live in the past. I'm sorry. If you got to talk about the 80s being great wrestling and not talk about current stuff, I'm sorry. I wasn't around for fucking entry level Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry. I was a dream of my dad's ballsack, okay? I'm sorry. But Hulk Hogan wearing a Wind Eagle championship in MTV. I'm sorry to you. I'm grateful that happened. But let's be real. Hulk Hogan was John Cena-esque, okay? It would be the same We the Children shit if we did it in 2024. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of Hulk Hogan or any of those people, but I grew up with Hulk Hogan as a heel towards the end of his career or mid whatever career that he had. I'm not making fun of these older wrestlers. Like, I didn't grow up in the 80s, okay? I did not grow up personally in the 80s. I grew up with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, things like that. I didn't grow up with, the Tonka Man and the fucking Iron Sheik, which I thought the Iron Sheik was better than Hulk Hogan, but hey, let's start that argument. Anyway, off topic, but that was pretty much SmackDown. Now, I did tune into a little bit of AEW. If you guys want to know, Rampage is going off the air at the end of the year, so who gives a fuck? Rampage is being canceled, period. And that's a Tony Khan fault. And I don't need to see another fucking Tony Storm segment where she's fucking dementia, where she's like forgetting who she is, like R-Truth. I'm like, I get when WWE does it with R-Truth. Let me be honest. I get it when they do it with R-Truth, right? And Brady could agree with me with this one. I get it when they do it with R-Truth because it's comedy gold. When they do it with Tony Storm, it just comes off fake. It comes off just generically fake. Don't copy what WWE does. It doesn't work for you, AEW. You've tried it too many times.
So many times. And that's why I don't watch them.
A lot of people. Well, a lot of people.
You think I'm joking? I'm being
no,
serious.
a lot of people don't. I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm laughing because I thought it was funny what you said because it's true. A lot of people tuned off because it's not the same AEW as they originally once watched. It's not.
It's kind of like me going to the store and buying these M&Ms, right?
Right.
And I bought these M&Ms for years, and then Walmart starts making great value of M&Ms. They're the
Right.
same thing, but they just don't taste the same. And you know what? After a while, you're like, I want the good M&Ms, so you'll spend a little bit more for those good M&Ms.
Okay. So maybe you agree with me with this one here. So this is the sentiment I've been saying to everybody in my stream when I go on AEW tangents in a way. So I say this every time somebody brings up what you just said. I say 2019 through 2020 or 2021. Everybody was watching AEW back then because of Vince McMahon and what was happening with WWE. They weren't really there to support a new company. Let's just be real there. You were there because you wanted an alternative for the meantime, not because it was the new sauce and you thought you were going to be a long-term fan. You were just there because it was the alternative for the moment. And then
And
once
it was good. And it
and
was good.
once Vince McMahon, you guys all said the same thing. When Vince McMahon left, if he ever left or died or croaked or whatever, you would go right back to WWE. It's the
True.
truth. When I say
It
this,
is
this
true.
is the truth. A lot of people would tell me
It's
this.
true.
It's like the
It's
NFL to the
because
UFL.
the reason why that is because Vince was so out of touch.
Yes, it was.
And AEW was new, it was fresh, it was sort of on the edge of extreme. It was great. But now we have Triple H in charge, and he's somewhat competent.
Yep.
And being the thing is that being somewhat competent is better than being a crazy basket case on coke who buys up any wrestler that he can buy, uses them for 2 months, and then forgets that they're on the roster.
Why does everybody
That's
think Tony Khan's on coke? That's funny.
Have
I
you
don't
not
think.
seen this man?
I
Have you
think
not
he.
seen this man on television? He looks like he's coked out 90% of the time he's
I
on
think
TV.
he's like me when I'm on caffeine. Have you not seen me when I'm fat shit crazy on caffeine?
Caffeine and coke. Okay, look, bring caffeine and cocaine are two different things. This guy is nose deep in a pile of coke before he goes on television. You know why? Because he's
Why?
nervous. He's over here like, guys, I have a big announcement, guys. A big announcement, guys. Next week on AEW Dynamite, there's going to be a big old announcement. I just bought out somebody's contract.
Bro, he is
Oh
like
my
the.
goodness.
Okay, so I got a story. So story time with Rev real quick. Uh, I used to go to this coffee shop, right? And there was a guy that was like Tony Khan, just tweaking out on caffeine, like bad. Like he would be like, "Hey, you want this? You want that?" I'm like, "Dude, you've been so far in the caffeine cabinet, bro." He goes, he goes, "I love just caffeine," and he's acting like Tony. That's what Tony Khan's on. I guarantee this man drinks so much fucking caffeine during the day, bro. Like his heart's ready to come out of his chest.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be over there
I'm
chugging down
like,
Red Bull.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
the guy always has a cup of coffee in his hand. I'm like, how many shots of espresso do you get? 7,
I
8,
bet you,
9?
I bet you money the sugar he puts in there is actually cocaine.
Oh my god!
He's over there. He's over there like it was some, and a thing of sugar for
Or
sweetness,
it could,
and a little
he
bit of
could be on
Colombian for my.
he could be on Adderall though. I've also thought of that too. Like he could be
You
on
know, on that
Adderall.
Adderall, he could be on Adderall. No,
Wait,
man, freaking
I think he's
Addy's,
got
yeah.
this. I'm not Tony. Please, if you watch this or anybody from AEW, we're not making fun of you. I just think you legitimately have a disorder problem. I do, and I think you take Adderall and you're all over the place. I really
Correction.
believe in that.
All right, listen. He's not making fun of you. I'm making fun of you. Let's make that extremely clear right now. If you watch this, he's not making fun of you. I most certainly am because I'm sorry. I,
Well, I think it's a crime he's not releasing wrestlers, though. I think that's a crime. Let's just be honest. Let's keep it there. He's not releasing Ray Phoenix. I think it's a crime. Ricky Starks has got to go. A lot of these wrestlers that don't want to be there, they need to go. Miro, come on. What has Miro done outside of not wanting to work with AEW? He's been offered everything and doesn't want to perform. So why don't you release the crap instead of paying them? You're killing yourself in two different ways.
I want to be honest with you though. To be in that position to be like, I'm getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to not do anything. Well, fuck yeah, I'll sit at home. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's
Well,
fine. I'll do that. Like,
when they
I'll just shit talk on Twitter all
in
day.
in Miro's defense, he's been offered so much shit and he's turned it down. So when these wrestlers say, "Well, Tony Khan didn't offer me up anything," and Tony Khan comes out and said, "Yeah, I did," you refused. See, this is where Tony Khan needs to become. If we're gonna compare him to Vince, the thing about Vince, he made you earn your paychecks. Tony Khan's just a nice guy. He says, "Here, you can sit at home and eat bonbons all day, and go hit the gym a
Cool.
couple hours." That's basically what's happening.
Hey, Tony, if you want anybody who will go on TV and make an ass out of themselves for 2 months and then get paid the rest of the year by doing nothing, hey, I'm right here, bro. I'm right here. How do
Just
anything.
hire
John
me a
Moxley
trainer.
match. Just John Moxley match. He can cut me open all day long. Just he'll pay me a couple $100,000. That's all I'm asking. He could, John Moxley could beat the shit out of me. Just pay me $200,000 and I'll be happy.
Just put me in some wrestling shape. Give me some basic moves. Teach me the basic
Wrestling
moves.
shape. Fuck that. Just give me another. Give me a mic. I'll talk so much shit. Then you can beat me up and pay me.
You could be Enzo Amore.
That's fine. Just pay me.
That's who they need. You know who they need to bring in is Enzo Amore for Big Cass. Or for Big Bill. Bring him in as Enzo and just have him talk shit and have people beat him up. I would totally tune in just for those segments. Just watch him get his ass beat.
I wouldn't tune in, but I would certainly watch the YouTube pilot.
I mean, I'm just saying. And by the way, Kenny Omega coming back, good for business. They need him. They need him back healthy.
Oh,
They
yes,
need
they do.
they need a lot of people back. Tony Khan, I know I put it. We're gonna talk some AEW a little bit. They need to bring in back Ricky Starks. They need to bring back some of these talents like Keith Lee. They need to bring back some people. It's starting to show. Your product is starting to show, and you need to book better. This is where you hire Shane McMahon. Hire a Shane McMahon. Bring him in and be your advisor. That's what you do. You have to. You're bringing Jimmy Jacobs back after you fired his bitch ass. What the fuck, man? Jimmy Jacobs is not threading the needle for you. Shane McMahon would. Do you know how much merchandise you would make right now if Shane McMahon was on your fucking roster in any capacity? Or they don't even have to bring a I love Enzo. What's up, Filthy Rank? How you doing? I love Enzo. Enzo would be great. I'm telling you, as a manager, bring him in as a manager. He doesn't need to wrestle for me. Yeah, I do. I think if he was, I think personally, and this is just me, I think Warner Discovery will bring him in. I don't think Tony Khan will hire him professionally, like straight up, but I think Warner Brothers Discovery would as an advisor if the show gets any worse. If the views do plummet that bad, which we've said views don't matter because it's going to come down to subscription buys, because everybody's going to streaming.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's read another comment here. I like Enzo not because of his wrestling, but for his mic skills are good. I think he has tons of charisma, great character work. I understand he's mid at best. Yeah, I mean we're talking that AEW needs to do something different. Like we talked about WWE, they're doing different. They're bringing back different things. The thing about AEW, what they got to do is they got to start doing things that are different. I'm not asking them to be the alternative. I'm not asking them to be WWE light. I'm just asking them to be a wrestling company. And they don't have to compete with their constituents. Just be a wrestling company. Do some okay storylines and some good matches. That's it. I think that's what everybody's saying. You don't need to be competing with WWE like that. Just do you.
They won't listen.
No, they won't. Tony Khan basically stated with Tony Storm. Basically, when he did Tony Storm on Rampage, everybody went up to him and said, "Don't do it," and he did it anyway. I agree. AEW was on fire before Triple H took over. Yeah, that's true. WWE was WWE. A lot of people, like I said, only was there to watch AEW because they were protesting from Vince McMahon. That's what that was about. They were tired of their ship being insulted. That's what that was all about. Brady kind of pointed that out. It was just people were just tired of the constant brain cell leakage. I mean,
yeah, it was terrible.
I had people telling me,
man.
Go ahead.
I'm like, Vince McMahon truly didn't know what the hell he was doing. He thought that this was still like the early 2000s where he can just get away with shitting on a Raw or SmackDown and then selling a big buyout during your pay per views. And your pay per views that you were doing were garbage. That Hell in the Cell match that Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins did, remember that Hell in the Cell match?
I remember that.
Remember that shit? That
Yeah.
was garbage. Oh yes, a match that has no disqualifications in it. The man uses a sledgehammer. Oh no, disqualified. What the fuck are you
Well, they did
talking
a
about?
repeat. They basically did a repeat of what Kane back in it was 1999 Kane, where he came out the
See,
floor. It was just a
he has
repeat.
no idea. He has no idea.
Well, basically,
This is man.
what I got told is two things. I got told that because of the brain cell leakage, and a lot of people were telling me the only way I could sit and watch WWE is if I was smoking weed. That's how we understand it. That's how I get shitty storylines. And I was like, damn, it's that bad. It's gotten that bad.
You know who could save AEW?
Who would that be?
Ryback. Ryback can save
Oh
AEW.
God.
Ryback,
Oh
the big
God.
guy. The big guy
Cryback?
can save him. Right.
Cryback? Feed me more Cryback?
Fucking Ryback. You know what?
Ryback, I
You
gotta
know
give
what?
Ryback so much credit on a couple of things. One, he is so fucking delusional. He is so fucking delusional. When you listen to him on a show, you're getting brand sponsored deals from him for his stupid energy drink. That's probably just as garbage as the Rocks. And then he turns around. Then he turns around and goes, back in my day, though. Back in your day, you wanted a van. You wanted a bus, like Big Show. So you cried and you left. And you think all wrestling companies need to give a fuck about you when you've done nothing. Instead of saying, I'm taking stem cells, guys. Guys, I'm coming back, what, in 325 years from now? You're coming back? You're going to be a cyborg, Mr. Cryback? I'm sorry. Ryback is I used to watch this stuff just for the stupidity. That's the only reason why I would watch it. He's a fucking roller coaster, bro. This guy lives in the fucking past. Ryback was a generic powerhouse IMO, but he had a silly gimmick. And you know what? He should have capitalized on the whole Goldberg gimmick. He would have gone places with that. It's like Goldberg. Like Goldberg's now hyping up the fact that he may be doing a WrestleMania match. It's like, who gives a shit?
Jesus fucking no, please.
He wants to
Please.
have one. He wants to have one more match with fucking.
No. You know what? No, you know what? If I was Triple H, I'd say nope. We do not need you here. Your matches are horrible. You get in there, you do 3 fucking moves, and then you're out, and that's it. We
Well,
don't need.
real talk. His son is training at the Performance Center.
Okay, well, that's great. Then put his son in the ring. I don't want to see Goldberg. I do not
Well,
want to see
if they
Goldberg.
if they do Goldberg, here's my thing. Here's my thing with you, Goldberg. Why didn't you do like Rey Mysterio did with his kid during the Thunderdome? Just be a tag team. You don't need to wrestle much, and just have your son do the most of the work, heavy lifting, like Dominic did for his dad.
Or
And
just be a manager. Why
yeah,
just be a manager?
yeah,
Just come out and be a manager. Okay,
uh-huh.
look. You want to come back? You can come back as a manager. You can come back for about 6 months, and if you want your last match, at least make it storyline relevant. Do that.
Yes.
Okay?
Do you
Do
know?
that.
Do you
Just don't
know?
come back and be like, oh, I want a match. Why? Fuck you.
Can I
No,
say
why?
this? Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. You need to go
Or
hire Sting. You need to hire Sting, and you need to do Image UI on him because he looks really good as an old man. He would be a perfect Raiden for a movie. I'm just saying, put Sting as Raiden. Oh my goodness, that would be gangbusters for me.
that's another.
Like Sting,
That's
Sting
another
looks so
wrestler.
old now. Like I'm turning around going, dude, he should be in karate movies. He should be in anything. He should be making millions just off of the how old he looks now.
All right. I'm just going to say this. The reason why I stopped watching AEW, the reason why is because they brought back Sting. Do you know why I stopped watching Sting? I'll tell
Uh-oh.
you why. No,
Uh-oh.
I want to tell you why. All right.
Oh, here we go.
And listen. This is no disrespect to Sting. He's a wrestler. If I wanted to watch WCW, I'd go watch WCW. Okay? If I wanted to hear Tony Schiavone mark out over a fucking 60-year-old man, then I'll go watch WCW. Okay? I
Dirt,
can't
dirt,
stand
dirt,
Tony Schiavone.
dirt.
I can't stand Tony Schiavone.
Wish I had a
When that
soundboard for that one.
motherfucker, I mean, listen, when Sting would come out and I would hear him, F Sting, F Sting, I wish I could fucking strangle Tony Schiavone. I hate that man's voice. I hate when he screams that shit. And you know what? When he screams that shit, it's like, oh, it's Sting. He's coming back out. It's Sting. He has his baseball bat. He's 60 years old. I can
Well,
beat
he
the fuck
wasn't
out of
60 at the
Sting.
time when he wasn't 60 when they brought him back.
Okay, well, great. 58, fucking 57. Look,
Well,
Sting as a
it did
wrestler back in the
wonder.
day, great.
I disagree with that. They did wonders for. I disagree in the aspect it did views. A lot of people jumped over to AEW at that time. Uh, Right now, the problem with AEW is AEW is trying. They're trying so hard to book. They're not. Let me say this better. They are trying so fucking hard to be a boxing company. A boxing company. Everybody could say it was a good run for Sting. Tony Khan did the right thing. Like, let's just be honest. I'm reading comments. Let's be honest with that one. You got to give Tony Khan credit. Tony Khan gave him literally the ending that he should have deserved. WWE really didn't. WWE dropped the ball with that one. Kind of, I feel the same way about AJ Styles. AJ Styles, I feel like he's being pushed to the side and treated like garbage by WWE. Let's just keep that a buck. I feel AJ Styles needs to have a ending. I wish AJ Styles was in TNA. Actually, in fact, I wish he would have one more run with TNA as a send
That'd
off.
be good. You know, like TNA, they're like that's a really great promotion now. Like
Yes.
TNA wrestling is actually very, very, very watchable. I'll go back and I'll watch the old, the old
Hold on. Let
stories
me get
on
to you. Let me get to Filthy Ranks comment real quick. Real quick. I skipped over a comment. I don't think Goldberg's ego would be satisfied being a manager. I don't know. I don't know. They brought in the Steiners for a minute there as managers for a second in NXT, and they loved it. I mean, what it looks like to me, and I don't know if Brady agrees with me here, but it looks like Goldberg just wants money. He doesn't care about wrestling in a ring. He just wants to be paid 5 stacks. I don't think he really gives a fuck about being in the ring or not. Brady just sneezed again.
no, yeah, shit. I'm sorry.
I was saying Goldberg. Goldberg
Oh yeah,
wants a five
Goldberg.
stack check. He doesn't care about wrestling in a ring. He just wants to. If he was a manager, he would want to come in as 5 stacks. He would want a
He's a
five
five stack
stack.
check, like fucking $50,000 a year deal. That deal?
More like 5 mil a year.
Oh, five stacks. I
Goldberg's
think
all
it was
about
like
money. Like, let's get it. Let's keep it. Let's not spin it. Goldberg, if he came into WWE, he would want a Legends deal. He would want his son being featured. He would want everything Rey Mysterio has. Guarantee it.
which I mean I kind of get
But
that. But
Does Goldberg deserve that? Because the last time I checked, Goldberg was hurting wrestlers.
what really?
Yeah, he concussed himself and literally almost broke fucking Undertaker's fucking neck at a Saudi show back a few years ago. Remember that? That match that we regretted to watch, the
Oh
Undertaker and
yeah,
Goldberg. They were both hurting each other, and Undertaker was actually legitimately concussed, and he went back and he like fell over in front of
I
Vince
forgot
McMahon.
about that.
They
I
had to
forgot
take
about
him.
that.
They had to take him to the
Yeah,
hospital. Yeah, remember that?
I completely forgot all about that. Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh
also
yeah.
Goldberg had COVID, and they didn't say that they didn't register it right that he had COVID and he was getting everybody sick.
And that's why Goldberg does not deserve another match. Because
No,
Goldberg,
hell no.
because like Goldberg is dangerous in the ring. He's like Ryback was, because when Ryback hurt CM Punk, I'm not a big fan of CM Punk, man. Like Ryback hurt that man. And CM Punk pretty much said, "Are you a
Let
dumb
me read
fuck?
what Filthy
You a
has to
dumb
say
book?"
here. If Goldberg stays in WWE the mid 2000s a bit longer, I would have had more respect for him. I was introduced to him in 2003, and before 2005 he was gone. I hope I read that right. To be honest with you, I watched Goldberg. I felt Eric Bischoff because he was a football player. It's kind of like Will Hobbs in a way. Will Hobbs is booked this way, where destroy, 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 and win title. You know what I mean? So it's Goldberg was never really that great. And honestly, if we're gonna go there, and even Stevie Richards brought it up on his show. Yes, it was a bad kick to the head to Goldberg to Bret Hart, but Bret Hart didn't tuck himself in enough. That's what happened, and he wasn't ready for that kick either. And so many people have said so many things about that kick to the head. But as far as AEW goes, I'm happy. I'm happy that they're getting rid of the fat. Honestly, they're starting to trim. They're going to smaller arenas, and they're literally. But the one thing I hope when they do go to 3-hour dynamites, book the damn show properly. Put the right people in place. You got Kenny coming back at the beginning of the year. Do it right. Now this time you got Kenny Omega back. Kenny's talking about doing a new video game. At this point, you honestly, that's the person you have drive. Honestly, Tony Khan, put faith in Kenny. Kenny was booking some things right.
Yeah.
AEW is
Kenny
finally
Omega
coming to
does
my
have a good
hometown, and that
mind.
wouldn't be possible if there were still booking big arenas. I'm happy for the change. So am I. They're going to be doing like the LA Sports Arena and things like that. Ring of Honor is, so I'm pretty cool with that. I said this all along. They should tap into the smaller minor league club stadiums. I said if they want to be the alternative, shoot, do a. They want to be that they want to go that far. Why don't they do a Lucha Underground presents or something? You know, at like Boyle Heights or something. Do something real small. That would be fucking phenomenal. Um, but anything else? So to let you guys know, this is Brady Mile High. Basically, we're gonna be doing a show on Tuesdays. You guys are gonna get a new show from me and Brady here on this very channel. It's gonna be called the Rev and Mile High Show. You guys are gonna get a 1 minute you're gonna get something about gaming. Next minute you're gonna get something about wrestling. Next minute you're gonna get something about our real lives that we're annoyed about. You guys got a little taste of it tonight. And yeah, you guys will hear different little takes every week. We're gonna go over some things. During the week, we'll be talking between each other and putting a docket together and things like that. So you guys are getting a new show. Expect more streams from me. I apologize, I haven't. We were busy getting a new phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra FE, and been doing doctor's visits and things like that. So I apologize that I haven't been reviewing things, but you will see Brady time to time when we review things. Brady did say he wanted to be more active here, help me out, and do some more stuff. And it helps him too because he gets featured here if he decides to launch his channel on YouTube and whatnot, Mile High everywhere. Once I get, the cool part is once super chats and everything start happening here on this channel, there's raid abilities and things like that. So it'll be fun. Have you guys played WWE 2K24 online? No, but I've played 2K24. I mean, on the PlayStation, I played it I played it for a week. I actually I have a hot take on 24. I actually like 23 over 24. Just because of the story and my character, because I'm a my character guy, so I like building the women and the male stuff. So, no, and I haven't played it online. I'll have to go get it on the Xbox, or I'll have to rent it out of GameFly or somewhere. But
Wait,
yeah,
GameFly still exists?
yes,
What?
yeah.
No, my God, I didn't know that. I thought they
Yeah, I
were
was thinking
dead.
about getting a month of service just to rent some games and try out some things because I can't afford buying
I did.
$50 games all the time.
I did not. I didn't know it was GameFly. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're still around. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's
They sell
crazy.
games, they sell consoles now, they do the whole nine.
That's fucking crazy. That's nuts. I
Online
didn't
is
know that
super
they were
fun, but
still
sadly
here.
the servers are yeah, well that's 2K for you. 2K is very shitty. Go look at the NBA
Free
game.
trial. Absolutely. Start my free trial. Absolutely. Thank you, Rev, for
Brady,
showing me that.
you're welcome. But yeah, that's what we're doing here on this very show. So you guys are gonna get a lot of different things from us here. Brady will be more around. We've talked. Brady's more available afternoon hours. So now I know. So when I'm streaming afternoon, if he wants to come and hang out and play some games, we'll definitely be doing that more often. So, um, yeah, that's what we're doing going forward here on this very channel. I was gonna do a locale live review show kind of deal where I review the show for you guys, but that show's chaotic. That show's all over the place, especially with Becky Boo being rehired, unhired, and she's kind of the Vicky Guerrero of that show, and it's just Keemstar can't make his mind. Hire, fire, hire, fire, hire, fire. Which one is he doing? And I am actually a member of that show. Yeah. Yeah. Keemstar, like major show wise, I really enjoy Locale Live. And I know that sounds terrible of me.
No, Local Live is about
So you enjoy
the
the late
Local
streams?
Live is
I'm gonna tell you guys this straight up on here. If you guys like this stuff, that's what I plan on doing, being live at all times. Brady can tell you that's kind of my goal coming back. Because I stream just not here. I stream on Twitch, Kick, Trovo, all of them. And yeah. And oh yeah, you guys are gonna hear my thoughts on being back on Android. You're gonna hear my thoughts because I miss a few things. Today, I went to go pick up my phone. Brady will know this, right? So if you have an Apple like TV in your house, right? Or an Apple product, I went to go pick up my phone like an idiot, right? Like this. And I started typing. I thought I was like, because I'm so used to when you're close to an Apple TV, your phone will pop up with an Apple remote and you can start typing and stuff. I'm so used to that. When I was using, what is it, Crackle? Because they're giving a 2-month trial away for it. So I got a new, I signed up again. And I've been watching old episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Yes, yes. Old episodes from 1989. The originals. Not some garbage remake from Cartoon Network. Back in the day. Well, I'm listening to the English version of it. The English version is trash, but I'm not going to sit down with subtitles in my dyslexia and try to read all that. I'm not going to do it. Just not. So that's what's happening. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing going forward. You guys will see Icon here and there. You'll see Brady. You'll see. I'm trying to convince Dream to come out and hang out. So see if Dream wants to be part of the show. Dream's kind of, I don't know. I'll think about it. Kind of nervous about it. You don't have to throw your camera up here to be part of the crew. Like you don't have to, but it's much definitely needed because people do want to see what you are. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. Brady and I, and maybe if Brady wants to do more shows during the week, we will, depending on how you guys feel. But we're gonna stick with one. We're gonna see where it goes as a trial run. We're gonna see what happens with it because it's been 7 years since we had a popular show. It was the XX Brady and the Tech Rev show, and we garnered a lot of trolls because we had a mouth and an opinion. Let's put it that way. A very dark mouth and an opinion. A lot of people didn't like it so much. So, and I want to address one other thing before we go. I want to address something here on this show. So, with this podcast going, what happened to my other podcast? Well, I'm 3 for 3. I striked out 3 times. So, I'm 3 for 3 on failures. So, my first show, Slam Zone Sports and Gaming, that failed not because of me. And a lot of you are here because of it here on this channel. Some of you still bring it up to me. That will never come back. Not because of me, because the other co-host. I can't mention his name because if I mention his name, he'll come in here and throw a fit like a Karen. So, no way. The second show was the super awesomely saucy pod. And it was cool. I like the big jumbo name because I played off of what Brady says, the lead on show, The Big Bang Theory, and it does that whole big theme song, Bang or whatever. And I decided to call it Super Omulus Podcast Greatness of blah, blah, blah. I went on. It was like a long. And then the third one I tried doing with a guy named Sergio Sapesci over on PWO. And we couldn't get on the same page on how to start it and why. And now me and Brady are kind of in the same boat because we've done podcasts before. We want to have a docket, a schedule, get right, because he has a wife and a schedule that he has to abide by when he's at home. So just expect the show on Tuesday, 2 hours at max. Just expect it that way, or an hour and
Mm-hmm.
a half, and you're gonna hear real life stuff, gaming, tech. He may even bring up some stuff about retro. If you guys are all into retro, Brady's your man. He'll literally give you the tips and tricks, what to look for, what not to look for. And he'll probably share his experiences of what he dislikes about it, collecting games, and what he loves about it. Can you give a little taste of it? So, what's your favorite thing of retro collecting? Like, have you been to like
Oh
places,
Jesus.
conventions?
I- I'd probably have to say just going out in the wild. Going out there and discovering gems that people don't know about, or going to garage sales that people who don't know what they have,
How about
and
flea
then
markets?
giving them yep, them too. But going to garage sales and be like, oh yes, this video game right here. How much is it? Oh, it's $10. Thank you for the $300 bill. Thanks.
That's kind of like when you go and you buy comic books and Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering cards. They're kind of the same because a lot of it's from family members that have died and they don't know what they have and they just want
Which
to get
that's
rid of it.
sad, but but at the same time, though, I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay
Well,
a
they
low
don't know.
price.
It's like my grandmother when we were selling my grandmother shit. Like, people, you don't know what you have until somebody buys it. Then you go, oh, fuck, it was worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
People just want to sell it and get it off their hands. They don't want to do the research, basically.
exactly.
Do you guys play old wrestling games? I don't. Emulation wise, my computer can't do really emulation very well. But Brady does. Brady plays a lot of retro games.
Uh, I don't play any old wrestling games. The wrestling games, in my opinion, have always sucked.
Oh,
They've always been horrible
damn.
because the characters lock on. It just doesn't feel natural. It just doesn't
Come on,
feel right.
you don't like Day of Reckoning 1 and 2? You don't like WrestleMania 2000 on the GameCube? Those are my favorites.
Mm, can't really say I'm a huge fan.
Come on, SmackDown. You're telling me SmackDown. Here comes the pain. SmackDown. Come on now. Not all of them were trash.
Not all of them are bad, but at the
I mean
same time, though,
okay,
I'm
I
just
will
not.
admit the N64 ones and the Super Nintendo and the Genesis ones were pretty bad. They were comically bad.
They
Let's
were.
put it let's put it that way. Now, old school games, I do play some old school games. Like I do have I'm going to say this, I have some emulation. I have an emulation drive somewhere in this house that I've stored. I just can't find it with like almost a terabyte worth of games.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's
some of those are my
my
own.
raw gal.
Okay, some of them are my own backups. Okay, not all of them. I went to the sell the seven C's to get because a lot of those games that I had were Dreamcast. I'm a big Dreamcast person. Okay, Code Veronica, House of the Dead, you name it, that's me. I was a huge Sega nerd. I recently, and I know somebody's gonna tell me it was broken anyway. I had an original, and I found this in my closet, yeah, or in my record stash in our closet. And I found um, what was it? A Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn with a dead drive in it, and I just didn't want to replace it, so I just sold it to the store up top. I didn't have all the parts for it, and they took it anyway.
Hmm.
And then I had like some broken Dreamcast that the lid was kind of. They took it anyway. I sold it, but I had some. I love Sega. I've always been a Sega guy. I hope Sega comes back selling consoles. I would love to see them do it, or at least like a
Oh,
emulation like app. I'd be cool with that if they did. Same thing I feel about Nintendo. But anyway,
yeah.
those are the stories you're gonna get here on this very show coming soon. I don't know. We may do it on Discord. I like the overlay kind of deal. I kind of like it. Just private call, set it up. It doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty sweet. I could set up a nice overlay for it. It looks nice. And also, we're going to talk a lot of sports. We got the NBA playoffs coming up in the All-Star break. We got the NFL playoffs coming up. We got the college football playoff. We got baseball coming back. So, yeah, we're going to talk a lot of stuff. You're going to see, maybe you'll see some special shows from us where we, maybe we do like our NFL Super Bowl prediction. Maybe me and Brady play some Madden or something on the side or something, as a show, or we do something cool. But that's the way you're going to see. This show's just, it's going to be fun. But we do want to make it big. We want to make it big, and we're going to be on Spotify. We're going to be on the things for sure. But you guys got to come out and support it. That's what I got to tell you. You guys got to phone a friend, share it with somebody. We're going to be on everything. That's our goal. And there's going to be times me and Brady are going to argue between each other. That's just a fact. We're just going to argue. So, thank you guys for stopping in tonight. I appreciate everybody. If you guys are watching this later on, give us some feedback. Let us know. Check me out on all social media platforms. You guys know the deal. Mile High, where are you at on social media?
Social media, I'm on X, or known as Twitter. You can find my handle. I don't know what the hell it is. It should. Oh, I can't even share my handle.
He'll make another one dedicated for himself. For stuff. Mile High will be everywhere.
Or I'll just change the handle.
Or he'll change the handle. And I'm gonna tell you guys this. Be prepared. And I'm gonna give you guys this about Brady. He is a troll. He likes to troll around about real life stuff. Don't take him serious. Sometimes he'll get serious though. He'll get serious sometimes when he's passionate about something. But as he's gotten older, he's kind of more tamer.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be shared hopefully on Tuesday. Hopefully I can share that on Tuesday to y'all. But I need to change that handle because it is not stream appropriate at all. So you'll find that.
I figured it was. I figured it was something like that. I figured. Or you could just make a new account. It's no biggie.
I do have a sock account. I could probably transform over.
Yeah. Okay, let's just put it this way. So you guys know Brady. Brady used to be a hardcore troll in the paint, and he had a mouth and an opinion.
I still am.
You're a lighter version of that. Come on now. You're a lighter version of it. Come on now.
Yeah. Okay.
He was more extreme troll back in the day. All right. The stuff that he would say, man, would make you guys roll your eyes.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But we're not that. I'm not that way anymore. I used to be like Brady, where I was hardcore in the paint. Not anymore. That doesn't. I'm harmless. I just want to do shows and have fun talking shit about video games and wrestling and fucking Tony Khan being on Adderall. We should do a show. Tony Khan on Adderall, confirmed. Let's see how many people. How many people come to our channel just for that?
It's Tony really Khan on Tony Khan on Adderall, or is it cocaine? You decide.
You decide. You make your choice.
You decide.
But I think YouTube would be you guys are getting flagged, canceled. It's over.
Okay, you don't have to call it cocaine. Just say nose candy. It's fine.
Nose candy.
Be like, is it nose candy or is it prescription drugs? You decide.
Oh my. And by the way, I got one more topic, and this one's just to wrap the show. Brady kind of cracked jokes, and we're gonna kind of crack a joke. Did Bill Belichick deflate those footballs for Tom Brady?
Absolutely, he did. Absolutely, he did.
Was he taking a needle and floating the air out?
Cartman did say one thing. It's not cheating if you don't get caught. So
wow. Well, they did Spygate. They did Spygate, man.
Again, allegedly, right? Allegedly.
Well, it wasn't allegedly. They got fined heavily for it. They actually got penalized for it. Just like, wait. Well, they got they pretty much had a handshake deal with Roger Goodell. Come on now. It can't be any bad like the Astros, okay? Like the Astros calling signs and still winning the World Series, and they didn't take the trophy away. Now that's a crime. You know what else is a crime? Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. That's a crime.
Isn't Pete Rose dead?
Now he's dead, yeah. When everybody said he should be in the Hall of Fame, all the people that said he should have been before he died Rob
Poor,
Manfield
poor
said,
Pete Rose.
Rod Manfield turned around and said, fuck that guy. The
Poor,
commissioner.
poor Pete Rose.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. See ya. Peace.